Gemini Spark now has Chrome web browsing capabilities. OpenAI fires back at Apple after its trade secret lawsuit. And Amazon is developing a Warhammer 40,000 animated show. It's Tuesday, August 4th, and here's a quick look at some of the news happening in the sphere of tech this morning from Engadget. So Google's agentic AI assistant Spark can now integrate with the company's Chrome web browser. Once logged into Chrome, Spark can use your logged-in accounts and saved passwords to handle, tedious web errands. This is a modern AI tool, so the tedious web errands that Spark handles seem to revolve around researching flight options and starting the booking process. When did booking flights become the number one pain point of existing? Anyway, the company did suggest that it could also be used for scheduling viewings of apartments. Those are the only two use case examples provided by Google. Now, Engadget reached out to the company to ask for more information as to what this integration means for actual users, and we'll update the post when we hear back. Google has noted some safety features for those wary of handing off passwords and login information to an AI assistant. The company says there are tools in place to protect against prompt injection, which is when prompts are hidden on malicious websites and user-generated content. These prompts can force the assistant to take unwanted actions, such as initiating financial transactions or exfiltrating sensitive data. The company has not provided concrete details on these safety tools, other than saying it's investing in a layered defense that includes both deterministic and probabilistic defenses to make it difficult and costly for attackers to cause harm. Additionally, Spark will not complete payments on its own, handing it back to the user to review and finish the purchase. Well, that's good to know. This new feature is rolling out now in the U.S., with more regions to come in the future. To that end, the company just expanded Spark access to Google AI Pro subscribers in over 160 countries. The AI assistant also integrates with Google's Workspace apps. OpenAI calls the trade secret theft lawsuit that Apple filed against it careless, aggressive, and oddly personal. It also denies any wrongdoing in its scathing response to the lawsuit and claims Apple got it wrong when it accused OpenAI of hiring its employees to get confidential company information. Now, if you will recall, Apple sued OpenAI and two of its former employees, Chong Liu and Tong Yu Tan, in July. In its new lengthy response to the lawsuit, the ChatGPT maker has published communications between Liu and his former colleagues at Apple to show that they reached out to him to ask for help locating certain confidential information after he had already left. OpenAI says that after Apple filed its complaint, it admitted that its employees reached out to Liu. However, Apple allegedly tried to shift the blame to residual access, but did not disclose that it was a common issue caused by the company failing to properly manage system access when people leave. As a result, OpenAI writes, former employees can still access Apple files whether they want to or not. Sometimes they aren't even aware that they still have access. Apple accused Liu of surreptitiously accessing and downloading dozens of its confidential hardware-related files, including voluminous, detailed information about unreleased products, engineering presentations, technical specifications, and proprietary project data. Meanwhile, Apple accused Tan of directing job candidates still working for it to bring actual parts that they can show to OpenAI personnel at interviews. Tan and his team would use interviews to solicit additional confidential Apple information. OpenAI's defense of Tan is not as detailed, but it says he has always been clear with his team that the company does not want and must not use any confidential information from other firms. Tan was with Apple for 24 years and was the vice president of product design. In addition to defending the two former Apple employees, the company says Apple's claim that it had tried to contact OpenAI in February about its concerns and did not receive a response is not true. Apple apparently emailed the wrong person after confusing two different Asian last names. Warhammer 40,000 is getting an animated TV show. Variety reported that Amazon MGM Studios, Blur Studios, and Games Workshop are developing an adaptation of the sci-fi franchise. The new project will be a spin-off of the Secret Level episode based on the game. David Wilson directed the Warhammer 40K episode of that Prime Video anthology show, and he will serve in the same role for the new animated show, as well as being its co-creator. Famed Warhammer 40K fan Henry Cavill, who is already involved in live-action adaptations of the game, has been attached as an executive producer. Wilson is not the only talent from Secret Level to join this adaptation. Creator Tim Miller will also be an executive producer for the upcoming animated project, and Blur Studios, which Miller co-founded, helped produce the anthology. Each installment of that show was based on a different video game, meaning even the short-lived Concord has been immortalized on film. Games Workshop, which makes the tabletop war game, shared a few updates about the live-action projects during a recent financial report. It has apparently been slow-moving, with the creative team only now moving forward, penning a script several years after Amazon inked its deal for the rights to the property. CEO Kevin Roundtree also confirmed Cavill's continued involvement, since fans had worried that a lack of updates might have signaled the actor's departure. Thanks for listening. There's a lot more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Lawrence Bonk, Mariella Moon, and Anna Washinko. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.